Welcome to Instablog's Global Report. This is Sukhmani with fresh updates and more citizen voices from all over the world. Stories for the day are: Aravind Adiga wins Man Booker Prize 2008. Overseas Filipino worker beheaded in Jeddah. Malawi drops HIV cash handouts. A number of Nepali Muslims performing Hajj pilgrimage set to drop this year. Mr. Aravind Adiga, aged 33, has won the 40th Man Booker Prize for his debut novel, The White Tiger, a vivid exploration of India's class struggle told through the story of a village boy who becomes the chauffeur to a rich man. Mr. Adiga, who lives in Mumbai, was born in India and brought up partly in Australia. He studied at Columbia and Oxford University and is a former correspondent for Times magazine in India. C.J. Lalit Kumar talks about his debut novel, The White Tiger. He also recounts the writers of Indian origin who have made it to the winners list of Man Booker Prize in the past.
This is Lalit, citizen journalist reporting from India on Instablogs. This year's Man Booker Prize 2008, Britain's best known and most generous literary award, has been won by a 33-year-old first-time Indian novelist Aravind Adiga for his novel White Tiger. The work is based upon the vivid exploration of India's class struggle told through a story of a village boy who becomes the chauffeur to a rich man. The award's administrators emphasized that White Tiger is the 9th winning novel to take its inspiration from India or Indian identity. The £50,000 prize announced in London makes Adiga the 5th Booker winner of Indian ethnicity and the 2nd youngest winner in the award's 40-year-old history. Ben Okri was 32 when he won for The Famished Road in 1991. He is also only the 3rd winner to triumph with the debut novel. The first debut novelist to win the Booker was Arundhati Roy. Aravind Adiga joins V S Naipaul, Salman Rushdie, Arundhati Roy and Kiran Desai in the Booker Hall of Fame.
An overseas Filipino worker convicted of killing a Saudi national has been beheaded by sword in Jeddah. Saudi's highest court, the Supreme Judicial Council, affirmed on April 21st the death sentence on Jennifer Bedoya after a lower court found him guilty of killing the Saudi national. CJ Grace Calderon condemns the practice of awarding death penalty as cruel and inhuman, in complete violation of human rights.
This is Grace Calderon, citizen journalist for Instablogs, reporting from the Philippines. The beheading by sword of an overseas Filipino worker convicted of killing a Saudi national is utterly horrendous. This despite appeals made by the lawyer hired by the Philippine Consulate General in Jeddah and the requests sent twice by President Arroyo to the Saudi king asking clemency for Bedoya. The Saudi king refused clemency to Bedoya on the grounds that the victim's family was adamant in refusing to forgive Bedoya and insisted on their right to the imposition of equivalent penalty. Our condolences to the bereaved family. However, and at the same time, it needs to be pointed out that death penalty is a symptom of a culture of violence. By refusing to pardon the offender, the family has failed to show mercy of which Prophet Muhammad was an embodiment. How can such cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment and a violation of the right to life be compatible with faith and Islam? One fails to understand.
Malawian civil servants with HIV who used to receive an extra $35 a month to help them buy more food are now to get a food handout instead. The new policy is part of a government review into its HIV policy and how to best fund it. CJ Tandi Soko supports the measure intended to make better utilization of state funds in fighting AIDS.
Citizen journalist reporting from Malawi on Instablogs. Malawian government has reviewed its HIV policy. Under the revamped strategy, the Malawian civil servants with HIV who used to receive an extra $35 a month to help them buy more food are now to get food handouts instead. The step is intended to prevent the misuse of money. Malawi is among the countries worst affected by AIDS, with about 7% of the 13 million population affected. The recommendation is to give them cooking oil, some eggs as support. HIV-positive employees will also be educated about the virus and get advice about safe sex. According to the United Nations World Health Organization, about 35% of those infected with HIV in Malawi are now taking ARV drugs. Last year, the government called on all sexually active people in the country to take an test. Surely such measures, apart from ensuring best usage of already meager state funds, will also help in improving the health of Malawians suffering from AIDS.
The demolition of low-cost pilgrims' hostels in the holy city of Mecca will prevent Nepali Muslims from performing the traditional Hajj pilgrimage this year. Finding a solution is proving difficult and is generating tensions between Mr. Prachanda's Maoist-led government and some Nepali Muslim leaders. CJ Mukunda believes the Saudi decision will have negative impact upon the low-income Nepali pilgrims.
This is Mukunda, citizen journalist from Nepal, reporting on Instablogs. Nepali Muslims might not make it this year to the traditional Hajj pilgrimage to Makkah. The gates to the city might be closed after Saudi authorities decided to shut down the more dilapidated buildings in Kausarifia, accommodation hub for visiting pilgrims, in order to build new ones. The decision is aimed at improving crowd controls for the millions of pilgrims who come, but it has a negative impact on low-income pilgrims who can only afford cheap accommodations. Accustomed to spending $200 at most, not all Nepali Muslims can afford to live in 5-star hotels. The Saudis have already rejected a Nepali proposal to house Nepali pilgrims in accommodations further from Makkah. Nepal's domestic situation is also complicating matters. Members of the Nepali Hajj Committee are unhappy with secular policies of the Maoist government, which according to them do not adhere the Muslim guidelines.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. That's all for today's show. We'll be back with fresh updates and more citizen voices. Till then, it's goodbye from the entire team of Global Report.